9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have Djibouti takes a giant step towards the inclusion of people with disability. More than 800,000 Palestinians faces healthcare access crisis. Welcome to our newsroom. Djibouti brilliantly celebrates the closing of the 5th edition of the National Disability Week and the International Day of People with Disability under the aegis of Prime Minister. The event, orchestrated by the National Agency for Promotion of People with Disability, known by its acronym INPH, highlighted the significant progress made by the countries in terms of inclusion during this dedicated week. Djibouti unveiled innovative initiatives aimed at improving accessibility to services, education, and employment for people with disability. Concrete actions have been taken to ensure that public and private infrastructure meets accessibility standards, thus enabling full participation of people with disability in daily life. National Disability Week was also an opportunity to demonstrate the commitment of Djiboutian community to inclusion. Civil society organizations, businesses, and citizens have worked closely together to support people with disability, highlighting models of success that prove that talent and determination transcend barriers. Under the banner of the National Disability Week, Djibouti reiterated its commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals. The nation has demonstrated that the inclusion of persons with disability is a fundamental pillar to achieve these goals, thereby placing the countries on the pace to sustainable and equitable development. As National Disability Week draws to a close, Djibouti looks to the future with the renewed momentum. For his part, the General Director of INPH, Duali Saeed Mahmoud, said that the progress made this year only strengthens the country's resolve to create an environment where every citizen, regardless of their abilities, can contribute significantly to the national development. For his part, Prime Minister His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Muhammad underlined the government's unwavering commitment to the social and economic inclusion of people with disabilities. Djibouti, through ANPH, has demonstrated unwavering determination to overcome challenges and achieve major advances. Djibouti, through its concrete actions and commitments, is becoming an inspiring example for other nations, illustrating that inclusion is not only a moral necessity but also an essential impetus for shared prosperity. National Disability Week is not just an annual event, but a catalyst for an inclusive and dynamic Djibouti. The closing ceremony of the National Disability Week and the International Day of Persons with Disability, as usual, included the traditional award ceremony of the Head of State for legal and natural persons having distinguished themselves by a valuable contribution for the benefit of people living with a disability. The first prize of this edition was awarded to a young man called Abdul Wahab Musa. The second prize of this edition went to Waberi Gedi for the benefit of the people with disability traveling in electric wheelchair, and Mr. Samatar Mahmoud, who took the third place in the Head of State award ceremony. Prime Minister receives an international anti-doping commission following meetings of the Indian Ocean ORAD Council, which was held from December 4 to 5, 2023 at Sheraton Djibouti Hotel. Prime Minister His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed received in the presence of the Head of Cabinet Ali Silla Abdallah, the Secretary of State for Sports Hassan Mohammed Kamil, and Rosa Rakotozafi, President of the Regional Anti-Doping Organizations and Indian Ocean Zone, Samih El-Rey, Secretary General of the Africa Office of the World Anti-Doping Agency, Ms. Yamini Mutusami, Treasurers of the Indian Ocean ORAD, Dr. Muhammad Mundiru, representative of Comoros, and Ulrich Mathiod, representative of Seychelles, Khadija Ibrahim Idris, the Secretary General of the State Secretary for Sports, and Abshir Ali Hassan. These delegations had initially participated in the conference debate on doping in sport at the People's Palace on Saturday, December 2, 2023. The International Committee during this successful week-long stay thanked the collaboration of Djibouti, which is ahead in the fight against doping. This council meeting enabled consultations on trainings and awareness-raising resolutions to educate high-level athletes and more generally raise awareness among younger people and the harmful effects of cat and its influence on the body. The President of the National Assembly, His Excellency Dileita Mohammed Dileita, took part yesterday in the parliamentary work on climate change at COP28 in Dubai. In his intervention, the President of the Djiboutian parliamentary institutions immediately clarified that the Republic of Djibouti is the perfect example of a state suffering the full brunt of the consequences of the natural imbalances that has arisen. Climate change is an unprecedented scale is undermining the resilience and adaptations of citizens faced with this continuing cycle. The President of the National Assembly, Dileita Mohammed Dileita, recalled that over the last 20 years, the Republic of Djibouti has resolutely turned towards renewable and sustainable energies, and thanks to these sustainable energies, he says, Djibouti aims to become the first African countries entirely powered by renewable energies, and to specify that Djibouti has put in place in 2023 a legal framework establishing mechanisms and for the contributions. For his part, the President of the National Assembly, Dileita Mohammed Dileita, immediately clarified that the Republic of Djibouti is the perfect example of a state suffering in full brunt of the consequences of the natural imbalances that have arisen. Climate change on an unprecedented scale is undermining the resilience and adaptations of citizens faced with this continuing cycle. He recalled that over the last 20 years, the Republic of Djibouti has resolutely turned towards renewable and sustainable energy, and thanks to this sustainable energy, he says, Djibouti aims to become the first African country entirely powered by renewable energies, and to specify that Djibouti has put in place in 2023 a legal framework establishing a mechanism for contribution and understanding by avoiding or carbon sequestration. Thus, the President concluded his remarks, affirming that the desire for partnership of all kinds to support the Republic of Djibouti will be welcome. Tuesday, December 5, 2023, was the Thematic Day dedicated to energy by the United Nations Framework Conventions on Climate Change. In collaboration with the authorities of the United Arab Emirates, the Republic of Djibouti was represented at this important event by the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Younis Ali Gedi. At the head of delegation is composed of this technical advisor, Mahdi Waberi Hassan, the Director of Energy, Guled Mohammed Jama. During this thematic day dedicated specifically to the energy sector, several subjects of capital importance were addressed by the different parties during the various ministerial roundtables organized on this occasion. Two themes were at the center of discussions at the high-level ministerial roundtable, namely renewable energies and energy efficiency, moderated by the executive directors of the International Energy Agency, Dr. Fatih Birol. This important meeting brought together numerous participants, including ministers, CEOs of large companies, as well as players in the global energy sectors. In a notable speech delivered on this occasion, Minister Yunus Ali Gedi presented the progress recorded by our countries in the energy sector by the initiatives of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gelle, notably in terms of the development and productions of renewable energy, but also in the field of energy efficiency. Yesterday, the Kempinski Palace Hotel hosted a workshop for young people on gender-based violence. This workshop is organized by the United Nations Fund for Population Activities in collaboration with the One and Indivisible Youth Movement. The objective of the workshop was to raise awareness and mobilize young people to combat violence against women and girls while promoting human rights. It was about creating a space for exchange, discussions, and concrete proposals to promote gender equality and combat gender-based violence and guarantee human rights for all. During this workshop, a partnership agreement was signed between the One and Indivisible Youth Movement, the United Nations Population Fund, and the National Human Rights Commission, with a view to strengthen actions to mobilize young people and adolescents for the promotions of equality between men and women, as well as reference activities for cases of violation of human rights. The event was chaired by the UNFPA representative in Djibouti, Hasha Ibrahim Jama, and the president of the One and Indivisible Youth Movement, Ahmed Mugola, in the presence of Amina Abdul Qadir, in charge of youth and genders at UNFPA, the president of the commission. Yesterday evening, the Embassy of the Federal and Democratic Republic of Ethiopia in Djibouti organized in the premises a ceremony called Ethiopian Night to celebrate, among other things, the third edition of the Djibouti International Fair and the 18th day of the nation's nationalities and people of Ethiopia. The ceremony was co-chaired by the Ambassador of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia to Djibouti, Birhanus Gay Abera, and the President of the Chamber of Commerce, Yusuf Musa Dawale, in the presence of the Ambassador of the People's Republic from China to Djibouti, Mr. Hu Bin, as well as members of the Ethiopian community present in Djibouti. The ceremony began with the reading of the Quran, followed by projections on the thriving business landscape of Ethiopia, as well as the Djibouti International Fair, which opened its door last Sunday in the esplanade of the Stopover Containers Hotel. The festive evening was also dedicated to the celebrations of the 18th nationalities and People's Day of Ethiopia. It is a testimony to the fact that there can be unity in diversity. The evening was marked by speeches by the Ambassador of the Federal Republic and Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the President of the Chamber of Commerce, who expressed in favor of a social partnership between the two countries and the two peoples. And now listen to the Ethiopian Ambassador to Djibouti, Birhanus Gay Abera.
Celebrating it with the Djibouti International Trade Exhibition Symposium with age-old friendship, cultures, tie, and the similarity between our two countries. Dear Ethiopian and the people of Ethiopian origin in Djibouti, today is a day where we take pride in spotlighting our culture, reflecting a sense of being Ethiopia in our adopting home. Djibouti is actively participating in diverse activities that contribute to the development of our nation. It is a celebration of the beauty found in our diversity, serving as a powerful demonstration that Ethiopia stands as a country unified in its rich tapestry of difference. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the people and the government of Djibouti, especially the ever-wise leader, His Excellency President Ismail Omar Gille, for the all support and the partnership, and it is my government firm belief that we will strive for more mutual development and prosperity.
Now listen to the president of the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce, Yusuf Musa Dawali.
I want to express, Excellency, my gratitude for the presence of each one of you, symbolizing the close union and collaboration between our two nations. Djibouti and Ethiopia not only share a border, but also strong historical, cultural, and economic ties. Our collaboration has always been a crucial pillar of the development and prosperity for both our countries. This evening is a celebration of our friendship, partnership, reflecting our commitment to work hand in hand to address the challenges of tomorrow and seize the opportunities arise of our nations.
The Embassy of Japan hosted an evening of friendship yesterday in honor of the Djibouti International Fair. This event symbolized the strong ties between Djibouti and Japan, strengthening cooperation in various fields. During this memorable evening, representatives from both nations celebrated the continued momentum of their successful partnership. The warm exchanges highlighted flourishing collaborations in various sectors, such as economic, culture, and diplomacy. The Embassy of Japan has played a central role in promoting these harmonious relations, underscoring its commitment to lasting bilateral cooperation. Inspirational speeches were delivered, highlighting joint achievement and future opportunities for mutual development. The event was also marked by the distinguished presence of the key personalities, the Minister of Infrastructure and the Minister of Investment, the Director General of the National Security, and parliamentarian, businessmen, and diplomatic communities. As part of maintaining prices and stock control operations, inspectors from the Ministry of Commerce and Tourism carried out this morning a collection of price and stock data in the Obok region. Upon their arrival, inspectors from the Ministry of Commerce had a meeting with the prefect of Obok, Musa Adan Migane, at the prefecture of Obok. This project is financed by the World Bank as part of the emergency response to the food crisis. The objective of this operation is to improve inventory management and verify the practice of approved prices. The inspectors meet the manager of storage and distribution establishments in the region. They inspected the stocks of essential products, including rice, edible oils, sugar, and dairy product. Inspectors found that stocks are sufficient to cover the needs of the region's population. However, they noted some irregularities, notably exceeding the approved prices. Commerce inspectors have issued a warning to respect the prices approved by the ministry. They indicated that sanctions will be taken against establishments which do not respect the approved prices. A successful visit to the Dakhel delegation to Dakhel for the Better Management Migration Project on Tuesday, December 5, 2023. A delegation led by Dorothy Hatter, country directors of the JAIZ Coordination Office, paid a working visit to the town of Dakhel. Upon their arrival, the delegation was warmly welcomed in the offices of the prefect by Mr. Hassan Abdi Roble. The main objective of this visit was to establish contact with local authorities, understand the work carried out by JAIZ and its partners, as well as listen to the concern and the various stakeholders involved. Subsequently, the delegation went to the Regional Council, where it was received by the President of the Regional Council, Mahad Hussein Ahmed, in the presence of the head of the Dakhel Police Detachment, Captain Suleiman Farah Awale. The JAIZ delegation, through its Better Management Migration Project, is committed to supporting national authorities and institutions in achieving safe, orderly, and regular migrations by implementing a human rights-based approach. The project also aims to combat human trafficking and smuggling while seeking to protect victims of trafficking and vulnerable migrants. As part of actions to combat smuggling, the Ali Sabih Customs Brigade, in collaboration with the Ali Sabih Police Detachment, intercept in the peripheral vicinity of Galilee border sector a large quantity of contraband cat merchandise. During this operation, 80 packages of cat were intercepted, the worth of 525,000 Djibouti franc. The smugglers wanted to transport to the capital. According to the standard procedure, first, this quantity was transmitted to the Customs Brigade and destroyed on site in the presence of the head of the Ali Sabih Customs Brigade, Mr. Muhammad Mumin Hassan. For the international scene, in total, at least 800,000 Palestinians living in the northern part of the Gaza Strip are currently without health coverage. The Gaza-based health ministry said on Wednesday the ministry warned of what it called act of genocide committed by Israel in the northern Gaza Strip. The ministry said just that more than 400,000 Palestinians in northern Gaza are now completely deprived of medical services as the genocide against the Palestinians people continues. Israel resumed its military offensive on the Gaza Strip last Friday after the end of the week-long humanitarian pause with the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas. At least 248,000. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.